is what it is. You can't change that. It is what it is. So
Yeah.
so I'm like, why are you upset that your ancestors were Fulani? And she was
Okay.
crying like, so once she found out that her ancestor was Fulani, she was crying, and she looks like a
Because they
Fulani
were the
woman
slave
too.
trade. Yeah, she does. She's half Fulani and half Yoruba. She said it, and I mean, this is a sad thing. Not only I mean, all the tribes were involved in slavery in Africa. That's why I don't entertain brothers that come from the Caribbeans or America that come like FBA brothers. Not all African American, but the FBA in general, like Tyrone. These are the kind of brothers we don't want in Africa at all, because they come, they try and meddle up, and they also are not proud of their own identity, and if they got identity crisis, and they rather attach themselves to anything else other than being black. That's fine. Go and do it. No problem. We're happy with that. But American First Rifleman Caesar Chikwe is half African American, half proud Igbo. Ola is African. I'm proud African. Ramwa is a proud Haitian Hausa. We're proud of who we are. And Kaiser is
Right,
East
right.
African Dusty. Yeah, we always take the piss, but we're proud of who we are. We can't change that. So if you're not proud of who you are or what you're made of, don't come to other show and disturb us. We're trying to learn. That's why we come here most of the time, is to learn, from one another. But unfortunately, some of us are more destructive, and these are the destructive ones we don't want in Africa. We, stay in America, go and live with the Red Indians. Don't don't disrespect African people, and also the go and follow Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed, that's spreading hate in America. Getting Black American to hate on African people. Yeah, we don't want people like you in Africa. Sorry, but we don't. Even though you call yourself, African American, but we know some of you guys, have a different agenda, like the FBA. Yeah, we don't want that FBA agenda in Africa. Thank you. But yeah, Ramwa, you're 100% spot on. You're one of the guys that I met from a long time. I know you do your history. You do your research, and you're proud of who you are. Let's get to the topic. Pan-Africanism. I think Pan-Africanism started in different ways. I mean, if you want to talk about the organization of Pan-Africanism in terms of civil rights movement, or in terms of the real Pan-Africanism, when that started in the Guinea Coast and Senegambia, for example, like Sengbe Pierre, Baibure, Samori Toure, Alpha Yaya, Abubakar Biro. These are the physical Pan-Africans, that fought physically and lost their life, for us, to preserve the land that we call West Africa today. These are people that came from all tribes. Yeah, they put the tribal issues aside and they decide to fight the outsiders to preserve their ancestral land. And also, only years down the line for African Americans also, to start the Pan-African movement in terms of civil rights, so Black people can have equal rights. Like in Bristol here, we had the Bristol bus boycott, because the Black people were not allowed to sit on the same seat as a white person. Sorry, you have to sit at the back of the bus. If you're Black or you're Irish, you have to sit at the back of the bus. And also, you were not allowed to drive the buses. So people boycotted the buses. This were all part of the civil rights movement that enabled us, to actually gain, basically profit from those freedoms. So you African American, you come to Africa today, to your ancestral land. That's because you had Samori Toure, Alpha Yaya, Boubacar Biro, Sengbe Pierre, Baibure. These guys fought for you guys, to preserve your ancestral land. If you go to America, you have Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass. Marcus Garvey. These brothers, they fought for Africans all over the world. And
Yo,
where you
yo,
come from,
yo,
Haiti? Yeah,
Al, I'll go even further with that.
yeah,
Pan-Africanism, when it comes to Haiti, it
yeah,
started in 1791, because you got various tribes that were in
yeah,
the plantation. The French were beating the living crap out of them. They were like, listen, we might have been enemy in Africa. We might have been trying to conquer, like your kingdoms. We might have conquered, your empire. But listen, now we are in chains. Now we are in shackles. So we need to come together and defeat this white man, and then take over. because you got tribes that was like fierce enemy, like like the Susu, the Mandinka, the Fula. These tribes, they were enemy. They were enemy. And then when they were enslaved in Haiti, they had no choice but to come together. You got the Igbos, like the people from Calabar, the Yoruba. They were enemy tribes. So they had to come together, like Bantu tribes, like the Bakongo, the Bamileke, the Tikar, and so on and so forth. They were enemies. So they had to they had no choice but to come together.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's how
I wouldn't go far and
so
say
that's how
they were
you are
enemies. I
that's how
think
you are Haiti in 1804. As a matter of fact,
yeah,
our first emperor, Dessalines, was a Yoruba man. He was
yeah,
a Yoruba man. He was a Yoruba man from Ketu. Ketu was once a city of the Oyo Empire. Now Ketu is a city in Benin. And then people, like people who came from that Yoruba city, they in Haiti, they still revere that city. They
right.
they 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 revere that city in Haiti. So
Yeah,
you got Mandinka Mandinka city,
Samori Toure.
like Kita, like
Okay.
Kita, Fulani town, like Futa Jalon, like people in Haiti, like they revere those towns.
Wow.
So when you have people like that, like Taiwan, telling that Haitian people are mixed with that. Listen, bro, I don't have any Indian in me.
Nah,
Like
I mean
that.
You're
Listen,
one of the most
listen. Hold
All
on a
right.
African.
second.
So
The
can you
the, the,
prove
the
that
European DNA that
in
I have
your
is 1.8
genealogy? I ain't
percent.
talking about
One point
DNA.
eight
I'm
percent
talking about
European.
paper
That makes
Let him
me
records.
finish.
European.
I'm
Let
That,
talking
him
that
about
finish.
makes
Let
me
paper
him
mixed.
finish.
records, nigga.
Listen,
Let him
I'm
Talking
let him
about
98.7
finish.
paper
sub-Saharan
records.
African.
So you claim that you come from kingdom, you city states, which
I
were
never,
actual
I never
kingdoms.
said I came from Kingdom.
Yes, you
I
did,
said,
but you over
I
here
said that I came
appropriating
from the
random
Hausa
shit off of
people,
DNA
and I
The
said
kids.
that the
Hausa
Hausa
state.
people
The
never had
Hausa
kingdom. They
state.
You're
have Hausa, they
appropriating
have city
random shit
states.
off of
It was
DNA
later
kids.
on, Ramwa, it was later on, it's the Fullers that unified the Hausa state. They wasn't
Thank
unified here.
you.
It was the Fullers that unified it. But
No, listen.
listen to this. Yeah.
Not only the Fula united the Hausa state, but the Hausa were not practicing like the true version that the Fulani see that the Hausa need to practice. The Hausa people would practice Islam, right, and then they would enslave like fellow Hausa people, and then sold them to slavery. And the
Yeah.
Fulani was like, nah, you can't do that. This is not true Islam. So
Thank you.
that's how you are that the Fulani Jihad, and then that's how the Sokoto Caliphate was born because of that.
Yes, that you're so spot on there. Slavery within the religion was the number one problem, and this is the reason why the Sokoto Caliphate became more popular, not to the Fullers, but to the Hausa, and it was the Hausa masses, the elites of the Hausa. They wanted to keep it as status quo, but the masses of the Hausa, they're the one that say like, no, we've been suffering under this system for so long, we had enough. I mean, it was brutal, in all levels. But
Let me
yes,
ask you this. Like put yourself in my shoes, right?
yes, brother.
If you take various DNA tests, right, and then it comes out to be like 98.7% sub-Saharan African, and then 1.2% European. Would I care? Would I care to claim the 1.7, the 1.2% European? Does that make
No,
sense if I claim the
no,
1.2%
not at all.
European?
No, not at all, Ramo. Even in West Africa, in the Senegambia, Guinea coast, I can guarantee you, not you will not find one tribe in that region that have that much of African DNA, because we're mixed. We have admixture of all sorts. In fact, some of this admixture that you already have, you did not get this admixture from the slave master. You had this
So can we go
admixture
off
in
of
you.
sources and
You had
not
this. Can I
hearsay?
finish? You had this
Finish. Go ahead and
admixture in
finish
you.
because I'm about to
You
debunk
had,
you.
you had this, or you can go. Yeah, you calling me monkey now, you? You
I
see this?
said debunk you. Did I
Okay.
say monkey?
Anyway,
No.
okay. So the fact is, some of these black African tribes already have had European admixture in them and Semite admixture in them before they was put in that boat to America or to the Caribbeans. This is what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these tribes in the Sahel and in the West Coast, I'm not talking about the Bantu, but the Mande and the Fullers and the Tuaregs, these people have different admixture in them, right? So you coming up here with the false narrative, I'm afraid, what's the tyrant? Because the reality is not a lot of, even the Igbo that go further down to the Bantu side, is not all of them have 99.
But guess what? Then we have black loyalists. Hold on, bro.
Are more deep into the continent than the rest of us. You know,
Mr. Al. So did we not have black Americans mix their genes recently? Go over there at the request of the American. Hold on.
Why are you so obsessed with genes?
So stop right there, because DNA test does not give out this context. Do we not have Negro black loyalists at the request of white supremacy telling these niggas to leave America because of the racism and the slavery? So they wanted to build their own country. Did we not have these admixed Negroes with Indian bloodlines? Hold on. Did we not have these
indigenous
admixed
American?
Negroes?
Then you were African, and they wanted to go back to Africa.
Roy, stop being a little bitch. I'll let you talk. I'll let you vent. So now listen.
You little bitch right there.
Listen.
Don't worry about it.
Listen, so you had black loyalists go over there to Africa and mix black American DNA up amongst local African tribes. You even had Tupinamba Indians being sent to Africa to colonize different parts under the Spanish.
What Africans done to you? Why do you hate Africans?
No, I ain't saying nothing about hating Africa. Stop being retarded. Get the emotional sensationalism out your ass.
You sound like you hate us.
Get the emotional sensationalism out your ass.
Get the emotions out of it. The black emotions out of it. And listen, because your story does not make sense. To go back to their homeland.
Your story don't make sense. Your story don't make sense. That don't make sense.
Have you ever read the Book of the Negroes? Have you ever read the Book of the Negroes?
Have you read? Are you a DNA scientist? No, you're
yes,
not.
I'm a DNA scientist. Yes, I'm a DNA scientist.
Oh, no. Okay, what's a snip?
Let's go.
Roy,
bring it to me. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm a DNA scientist.
What's a snip? What's a lipid?
A snip is your mother.
That's not what a snip is.
Well, I just told you, a snip is your mother.
You're a Google scholar, nigga.
Me and your mother.
So shut the fuck up.
Me and your mother.
You're a Google scholar. You ain't brought no type of source.
Yeah.
You saying, listen to my DNA test because I received 99% of Hausa and 44% that bitch. That doesn't make any sense, nigga.
I never said any of that.
What the Native Americans say.
I never said any of that. You are confusing autosomal DNA. Do you know what autosomal DNA is? Autosomal DNA, they give you like the percentage of, they give you the percentage.
Do you know what a nucleotide is?
Bro, hold on.
I know what your mama is.
You don't know basic biology. That's why you're a retard.
Then what's your time? Ola, I'd like to hear from you, brother, because you haven't spoken.
Look,
so it says home-based DNA tests have increased in popularity from over years from.
Can you let others speak, please? Thank
you.
But y'all haven't brought any sources.
Hold on.
It's hearsay against source.
This guy doesn't know nothing the dynamic of Africans. You understand? So what is
dynamic of Africans doesn't matter compared to science and research.
Hold on, man. Let somebody speak, bro. You just listen also. Listen,
we don't care about emotional sensationalism. We care about facts.
We can learn from each other by listening. Let the Africans are here who are telling you more about their steps now. Yeah, look, you see, Ramos is right. You know, this guy from Nigeria, that politician, right? He have an Igbo wife. The wife have children for him. Those children are Fuller children, right?
Right. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
My brother went to Yobe and married to a Fulani woman there, right?
Right.
Okay, that's the first time I think I ever come close to really see the culture of a Fulani person.
Right.
Really. So
Yobe
what I'm trying to say, yeah. Iyobi.
So get to the point,
okay.
Negro.
Hold
Let him
on.
Get to the
talk, man.
point.
Hold on. Why I'm saying this woman is a fuller woman, but practice her own religion, right? But share between the food we eat and the food she eats. You understand me?
Right.
You understand? That's the first time I've ever come to a real person who's a fuller, really. Nice woman,
Right.
nice everything. You know, my brother do business there. They have a car, everything. Okay. The children are part of us. What I'm trying to let this guy understand is this. The problem we have is not about the other Africans. The according to the Haiti people actually know there are different groups. I don't
Yes,
know
yeah.
how they're able to figure that out immediately. You understand? Even somebody from my state went there. He said when he came there, he said he's from way from Nigeria. What part of Nigeria? He said Benin. Then I said, what, he said they asked him, are you part of Benin in Nigeria or the other? He said, no, the one in Nigeria. So this come, let me bring you to somebody that came from that zone. A woman went there as peacekeeping those days, as peacekeeping mission, no, a policewoman. So what I'm trying to say is this: the other Caribbeans, let's say Caribbean mostly, are far more easy to communicate. They're far more, I don't know, because they were having connection a lot by bringing a lot of Africans to that side and regularly than the Black Americans. I don't understand. Really, the Black American will be very, very difficult to integrate into this system of Africa. Pan-Africanist or not Pan-Africanist. That's just the truth.
Yes.
And this guy is saying that they took Indians to Africa. They never took
Yeah, they did.
Hold on. They never took no native Indians. They took the white male children who don't want to be slave in Africa, in the United States. These white men miss children and the Caribbeans and the other one, they're the one that they came to Africa to settle down. So they're never like, oh, I'm a native Indians among them. These guys know what they mix with. And these are the children of mostly
Mixed with what?
French.
What are you talking about?
Or British.
You want to
So
see the
you
facts?
start talking nonsense.
Yo, stop being disruptive.
The
We
Indians
don't
came
want to
to
hear hearsay. We want to see facts.
Tyrone, listen here. We are having a stream conversation here. Let others finish, then you can come in. Your turn will come. Until then, just
listen,
wait.
bro. Just
Please.
listen.
Thank you.
If the Indians are mixed with the Liberians, what you're talking about, they will easily figure it out. You understand me? Those mixed people that came to Liberia or to maybe some part of Sierra Leone, they know what they were mixed with. Some of them even know their fathers. You understand me? We're talking about white men that are mixed with African women, and these guys were not really ready to tolerate this slave trade of a thing, or this is not about slave trade, just about the discrimination. They just decide to ship to Africa, whereby they will be accepted or create their own kind of mini state. You understand me?
But
So if you know
So let's read educated sources and not babble on this platform.
We had good chiefs in West Africa that was happy to offer land, to black people.
Let's not babble on this platform. Let's bring out facts.
Can you let people speak? Because you've just been interrupting all this time, bro.
That's what he does. That's what he's known for.
This source comes from Yale.
This guy has no decorum. He just went out his mouth. Go ahead,
whatever you want to be in this world. Yeah.
Ain't no whatever nothing. Ain't no whatever nothing.
Go and be ready in there.
We're not going by just emotional sensationalism and a black supremacist homogenous clump. That's not what we're gonna do. That's not what we're gonna do here. That's not what we're gonna do here. That's not what we're gonna do here. You're gonna have to read and compare scholarship against scholarship. That's what we're gonna have to do instead of just babbling and using pseudoscientific arguments.
You're not saying anything.
Let's read. Let's read.
You and your black
Let's learn and read. Let's learn and read. Let's learn and read.
Look at them Negro fingers.
Let's learn and read. Let's not be little bitches. Let's learn and read. So it says Black and Indians common cause of confrontation in colonial Brazil. Stuart B. Schwartz, Yale University.
Most black people that came from Africa, yes, they went to Brazil.
No, most black people did not come from Africa.
Listen, none of us here are black Indians. This is not a black Indian panel.
That's your opinion.
If you want to talk about
your
Indian,
pseudo opinion.
go
You
to the
couldn't even name
reservation and talk to your fellow people
tell me
about their
about your own
cause.
self-proclaimed
Okay,
culture.
here, he's not Indian.
Rob Moyes, you couldn't even tell me about no Hausa. You said that they lived in city-states, and I told you that they lived in kingdoms. And you said they didn't.
They never lived in a kingdom.
So what are you talking about? Because I
The
know you ain't
Hausa,
get culture.
I'm
You
going
ain't
to tell you
get
about my own
culture.
people. The Hausa never lived in a kingdom. They had city-state.
Cultures based off of DNA tests. You're appropriating shit off of DNA tests.
From oral history,
you're appropriating shit off of DNA tests and lookership. You're appropriating shit off of lookership.
I am
lookership.
Lookership,
that's not scholarship.
You just mad that I'm not Indian.
How is that scholarship? That's not.
Bro, listen, you just mad that
that's
I'm
prison
not
wizard
Indian.
babble. That's prison wizard babble.
And listen, why do you even care about me? I have an accent. Number one, I have an accent. Number two, I'm not Black American.
Why
So
are you
why do you
trying to defend Pan-Africanism
I'm
when it's a Eurocentric identity?
If I'm a terror, if I'm telling you who I am, why are you mad? Why you challenge me?
Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Well, who I'm telling who I am. Why are you butthurt?
Okay, you are who you are. I am who I am. I don't judge you about who you are. So stop judging about who I am.
Information you don't know anything about.
You know what they call dickhead? You are a dickhead, bro. You are a complete dickhead.
And you're a vagina. Get you a tampon.
Whatever, man.
Now let's read this.
You wasn't born properly, man.
Let's read this. Let's read this and not get emotional. Let's read.
You look like like someone.
The outskirts of Salvador. A group of 250 or so had risen under the direction of a Muslim religious leader.
Nobody cares about that shit, burning the installations at a whaling station, devastating a number of plantations before a force of government cavalry could check their movement.
You're not welcome in Africa, bro. Don't you ever come to Africa.
Houses sprang up in March.
Damn, this nigga came back
1814 in sugar growing areas. Hold on. Because you might learn something that you didn't know.
We're not learning
you
nothing.
You might learn something that you didn't know.
Bro. Listen, don't teach that shit to some confused Black American. I'm not a Black American.
Chuck that in the bin. We don't want to hear you. We don't want to hear your rubbish, fam.
Listen, because Kaizo's audience might want to learn something new.
No, Kaizo's audience want to hear you. Look at the comment. Mute yourself and go and cry in the corner. I'm going.
Al, you're being emotional. You're being a bitch.
You're Al. Let me talk to you, Al.
Let's read.
Is it true, Al? Is it true that
Pan-Africanism is dead? This is why it can't work.
Opportunistic, because in my country,
this is why it can't work.
In my country, if you call someone susu,
this is why it can't work because you got little bitches online and talking shit. Can't even listen. Don't bring any scholarship. Don't bring any studies.
People. They don't take on either side. So is it true that in Sierra Leone and Guinea Conakry are the Susu very opportunistic?
Ooh.
What opportunism am I doing? Am I making money off of telling anybody about being American Indian? But we find Pan-Africans trying to scam people off of buying timeshares.
What's your response on that, Al?
Ooh, I would
hate to Rob Boys, do we not have Pan-African scamming people? Buying into the Wakanda pipe dream. Explain that.
Rama, what you said, I had that.
Rob Boys, do we not have Africans?
Oh my God, I can't even listen to Al talking. Yo, bro, can you just quiet for a second? Quiet for a second. I want to hear Al respond. Quiet for a second. Okay, fine. I'm all the above, whatever you want to describe.
What you mean fine?
I want to listen to Al for a minute.
I'm being an opportunist, but your Africans and Pan-Africans in America are scamming Black Americans.
Okay, man.
How does that help liberate people? What you
Oh,
scamming?
you're disgusting, bro. Honestly, you're disgusting.
How am I
How can you not be embarrassed
disgusting?
with yourself?
How am I
How can you not be
disgusting?
embarrassed with yourself? Look at how
Yo,
you carry
Al,
How am
yourself.
I
you
disgusting?
hear my question,
Explain.
Al?
Rama, yes,
Explain.
brother.
Is the Indian scamming people or are the
I
Pan
don't give a
African
fuck
scamming
about. I
people?
don't give a fuck about Red Indian. I don't care. I don't want to talk about them. I'm not
Oh,
here to
but
talk
you
about Red
don't
Indian.
care about Pan
I
African
Yo,
don't care
Al,
scamming the
about
forget
them.
this
people?
guy.
Yes,
Just address
What
Rama.
do
me.
you have
Just
to say for
forget him.
yourself?
Address me,
What
Al.
do you
Happy
have to
New
say
Year.
for yourself with all
Happy
types
New
of
Year.
Pan African scammers?
Ramwa. If you look at them politically, politically in Guinea, it's not far from where you are. But I will not generalize on the entire Susu group. That would be unfair on them because I think there's opportunists in all tribes. And for me to just say that specifically to the Susu, I will not be doing
Yeah,
them any
yo,
favor.
Al. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because that in Haiti, calling someone Susu, that's basically like calling that person an Uncle Tom. Because I found out that the
You do
enslaved
know
Susu
Uncle
in
Tom was a
Haiti.
hero,
Yes.
right?
Oh my God,
I
bro,
know,
bro,
I know,
can you?
I know they had problem with, other
Well, Rob
tribes in the
Morris, we
past.
know you're a
Yes,
coon.
yes, yes, they do.
We know you're a
But Al,
coon.
check this out, Al.
Al,
So
Yeah.
I
we know
figured
you're a
out like
coon too.
the enslaved Susu that were taken to Haiti by the French. I
Yes.
found out that the Susu, like, they were very opportunistic.
It
They
was
didn't
close.
trust the French,
It was
and
very close to the French.
and also they did not trust like other enslaved Africans. So what they would do is, well,
Native American.
whatever things that like that they feel like they feel like that would benefit them, they will
Yes.
go for that. So they were
Yeah,
very
one second,
opportunistic
guys. Let's let
when they were enslaved in
yeah,
Haiti.
Ramos, let's let
Right.
the new panelists go ahead. Go ahead, reparations network, and also happy Christmas.
Yeah, it makes a
Yesterday
lot of
to the
sense, but I will not
Ethiopians.
generalize
Wish you
on the
all a
entire
happy new
group.
year,
That's my
and that
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
I
wisdom.
understand that, Al. I just wanted to know like your take on that because it's very fascinating, like the way they were operating in Haiti.
I heard about even in the continent, like during the French president. I think the Susu did had a lot of problem with our Mandinka brothers
Yes.
in that region over the years. I think that's one of the reasons why Samori actually had to teach them lesson, because they was giving Samori a lot of trouble also. But as time goes on, all the tribes in Guinea today, they're very integrated. In fact, we the Fullers and the Yalunke, we are more integrated in Guinea than any other tribe. So, for example, like the Jalos, anyone here called Diallo, they're more
Indians, especially the suppressed
It's funny that you say that because the Yalunke, they were taken to Haiti as well because like they were driven out of their own homeland. Like Futa Jalon was originally like Yalunke, but the Fulani kicked them out, and then like different methods like end up enslaving and kicking the Fulanis out as well.
Yeah, the funny thing is they are still there.
Yes, you're right. They are still there. Yes.
I'll tell you one funny thing, right? My dad,
So,
if you look at my dad and his brothers, if you look at them really, truly, they even though they call themselves Fullers, but when we look at them, we know they probably about 60% Jalunke.
Yes.
60% Yalunke, and we know that through our great grandparents, right? They look. My dad, he looked more Chalunke than he looked Fuller. Yeah, and in fact, my dad, older brother. If you see him, you think he would never believe he's actually a Fuller. He looked more Yalunke, and because they became one group. And actually, this when you hear someone called Jallo, that means Jalunke. Yeah, their mom were Jalunke. Yeah, so we and Jalunke, we are so integrated today. We are actually very close people. We're one. So like when Nakmezi used to come here and start bashing about Jalunke Fulani, it's just laughable because the reality is you don't know nothing. What's happening in the ground. Yes, of course, the Yalunke and the Fullers and the Mandinka and the Susu, a lot of these tribes were captured during slavery. 100%.
That's right. And guess what? A lot of them now they were taken to Haiti. And still to this very day, we have a large number of Muslim people in Haiti. I got people on my dad's side. They are very Islamic, but they are not what you call like a jihadist Muslim, but they are Muslim.
Yes, Because like for example, the Fula is not like what you call like the other tribe, like a race. We have inside Fula, we have clans. I think Mal was
Yes.
explaining that to you the other time, but you guys didn't understand what he's trying to say. The Fula is
You,
like a tribe.
well, listen, in the Fula clan, like you have the Tukulor, you have the
Yeah,
Masina, you have the
yeah,
Wadabe, and then you
yeah,
have you have these Fulani tribes in
and
Cameroon. I believe like they call like the Bororo, the Bororo
Bororo.
Fulani.
Yes,
Yes.
these are the
But you
Yeah.
have
Kapsala.
no legitimate ties to those people, Ramois.
These
So
are
in
the
this
ones we had.
article, in
Anyway,
Yes,
this
Tyrone, let me
pamphlet,
finish.
yes, I do. Listen,
So,
no, you
you
don't.
don't
No,
know
you
anything what
don't.
you're talking about.
No, you
You
don't,
have no
because I
idea what you're
stumped
talking
you in
about,
your own
Tyrone.
Hausa claim.
So listen, the Hausa are one of the most powerful group in Africa throughout history. They're one of the most powerful tribe in the Sahel. The Hausa spread from where Burkina Faso is. If you go to north from Burkina Faso, you're gonna find the Hausa and the Fulani. They live there together. They've been living there together from God knows what century. Even during the Mali Empire, which you wasn't listening to earlier when Rama was telling you. Even during the Mali Empire, the Hausa and the Fulani was living in Burkina region, right? In the early days of the
You know,
empire.
as a
And
matter of fact, the
yeah,
Hausa people there, they are closely related to the Kanuri people. They are more
yeah,
related
very
to the
true.
Kanuri people more
Very
than
true.
anything.
They are the closest to the Kanuris, yes,
Yes,
100%.
that's right. That's right.
Because the Kanuris and the Sahel. I tell you, you'd be surprised. All these tribes in the Sahel, they're very close alike. All of them in the
Mm-hmm.
Sahel. Because
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, the Sahel wasn't a country. It was a region. It was different empires and different empires over the years that actually emerged. And all these people that live in this empire tend to intermarry. They move around different zone in the area and set up. And like for example, Aphrodemos. I was telling Aphrodemos, about his people. I said, Aphrodemos, be careful, because when the Fullers left Guinea to come to northern Nigeria, they
Yeah.
went there with the Yalunke, they went there with the Soninke, they went there with all the other tribe that was in the Guinea coast that time. They are the one that still live in northern Nigeria. So when you hear about Fulani in northern Nigeria, it's not just us, the Fulbe, but it's our other cousin tribes, that came
So
with us to the region, to spread Islam during those days that still live in northern Nigeria. If you look
That's
at this,
right.
if you look
so
at some of them,
here's
you can
how
tell.
you
So
said
later
earlier.
on, Aphrodemos,
Hurry up and land your plane, because I'm about to crush your whole argument.
later on, Aphrodemos actually said, Al, you're right, because I met someone for the first time in America that speaks my Soninke language, and they're from northern Nigeria. I'm like, well, I told you. And also,
Yes, even the Burkinaso the Burkinabe the guy that's in charge now. I believe it's Soneke because of his name. I think
no,
it's
I
Soneke.
think it's Jola.
Hurry
I
up,
think his name is
and land your
Jola
plane.
or Mandinka, because
Okay.
Traore is a Mandinka name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either
All right.
Jola or Mandinka, but that's yes. It's the same. Listen, Jola, Mandinka, Soninke,
Bambara.
they're very similar. Even the Tuklo, which is the old Fula, and the
Yeah.
Bambara and the Mandinka, they're almost the same people, man. The only
Yeah,
difference.
but with the Tukulo, I believe that the Tukulo are mixed with different Manding group, and then they are also mixed with the Sonenke. They
Yes.
are also mixed with the Fulani, and then some tribes in Mauritania. So they are mixed.
No,
Okay,
Tuklo is
so
the
at the
original
point of
Tuklo.
it all, you're mixed
The original
hybrids.
Fula.
All right, now
Ramon.
let's get to the point.
Oh my God! Wait, let me
Let's
get.
get. Hold on,
Listen,
you've been
Taiwan,
long-winded.
there's no
Land
such
your
thing as
plane.
mixed hybrid. You are who your father is, okay?
You a mixed
You are who your
hybrid.
father
Now shut
is.
up, Ramois. Now it says
Ramon, yeah. So
Mamaluko. You see what a
you're right.
Mamaluko
So
is?
at the original Fula before they
Do
mixed
you
with
see
other
what
tribes.
this is?
Okay.
Do you see my screen? Because I'm about to walk you down. You said there were
Oh, we're
no
not gonna
Indian
listen to you
bloodlines
because
in Africa,
no.
right?
We don't want to hear your rubbish. You talk too much shit. We
No,
don't want
it's
to hear
not
you.
rubbish. This is actual history. This is history.
Hey,
This is
one minute,
history. So
can you kick
let's
this
look
guy
at
out one minute?
Mamaluko.
One minute, can you
Your
please
shit
kick
is
Taiwan out?
rubbish. Nobody's going to Africa.
Interrupt me. I'm not gonna let you speak, man. You talk
So
rubbish.
Mamaluko, a Brazilian
No.
mestizo,
You
specifically
rubbish.
offspring of a white man and an American Indian woman. So now let's get back to this article. So in colonial Brazil, miscegenation was always a matter of concern. At first, that concern was directed to the children of European Indian sexual unions,
don't
attitude
care.
towards the
Who
offspring
cares?
of
I
no.
care. No.
This pertains to the people that invaded Africa and
Go
mixed
and
in them
go
people.
and speak to
I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. They
Red
went to
Indian chief.
Angola.
Go to
They
the
went
Red
to
Indian
Angola and colonized Angolans and Congolese. These bloodlines aren't talked about in
Take it to
DNA.
your Red Indian
These
chief.
bloodlines are not talked about in DNA, but you said there's no Indian blood in Africa.
Listen,
You're a
go
liar. You're a
paper,
fucking liar.
that paper, go
Nobody
watch
This
cares
is
about
documented
Indian, bro.
history.
Do you
So,
speak any
this is
Indian
documented
language?
history.
Speak your
This
language. Do you
documented
speak any
history.
Indian language?
Speak your African language, Ramois.
Don't worry about it.
Now, in colonial Brazil, miscegenation was always a matter of concern.
Oh,
Ooh,
Mama,
about time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
my Yoruba Oyo warrior. May God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, one man. You finally respond.
May God bless the Oyo kingdom and bring the Oyo kingdom back up.
Yeah. Well, we needed that so much, man. You know, we needed that, man. That guy, that guy's a handful.
Oh my God! I tell you what, my head is banging right now, bro.
You can't get a word out, man. If even when you're screaming at the top of your lung, you still cannot get a word out.
Yeah, but Ramwa, you see, these are the kind of brothers we don't want in Africa, man.
Nah, you don't want this guy, man. You don't want this guy because when I keep telling people about Haiti, like the various tribes that we came from, people be like, "Damn, it's a small island, you know. How come you guys from these different tribes in Africa, blah blah blah?" Like they always be thinking I'm lying, and that's the reason why a lot of I said so-called Haitians, because the reason why I said so-called Haitians because anybody can be Haitian as long you're a black person, you can be Haitian. Like there's no lineage of being a Haitian person. So I'm like, listen, I really want to know, where I came from, because in my dad's side of the family, they've always talk about their lineage, and I found out, to their lineage, and then me taking a DNA test, I found out I was Hausa, and I was proud of that. But on my mother's side, I thought I was Yoruba, but come to find out. I come to find out it was not Yoruba, but when my mother younger brother took that test, took the paternal DNA test, he found out that he was Yoruba.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean. It's I mean, like DNA is well, and then if you have like your family that tells you like their oral history and stuff like that, that can also be very helpful.
Yes. They are, no, wait, you're gonna have to wait for your turn before you speak. But yeah, you're right, Rama. So the reality is, the oral is very important, but the good thing is you come from people that also wrote their history down. So if you were to come to Nigeria one day, hopefully God give you the opportunity to come. You can do a lot of research. You can go there, you can read a lot of stuff about.
Oh man, listen. That's the plan. Like my on my dad's side of the family, they've always talked that like we know that I'm a generation removed from my people and from my outside people in Nigeria. So we know to their lineage, we know that name. We know that name Dunladi. So we know that name Dunladi. So I did that research. So I found out like Dunladi is truly a Hausa name, So yeah, so we came from him. So we came from that guy, like he was taken like from the Lornage plantation, like his enslaved master was a Frenchman, like his name was like his last name was Lornage. But somehow he managed to keep that name Dunladi. Like they eventually changed his name. So like they eventually changed his name. Like they gave him a French name, and his last name was Larnage. But somehow he still kept that that Dunladi name. So because of that Dunladi name, so that's how we figure out, like we were Hausa. Yeah.
All right, guys. Can I
Yeah,
is
no,
somebody
let
else
Ibo,
before me?
let Ibo come next because
All right, all
was.
right. Ibo can go.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll
What I'm
go
not,
next.
I know there's an agenda going on to Islamic Africa. There's an agenda going on to Islamic Africa. The reason I say that because all these northern African countries are spying into the agenda to destroy Africa's culture and religion. There's an agenda going on. Christians are being killed in every day. There's an agenda going on. I know that. This someone is funding these people. There's an agenda going on. In Nigeria is facing there's one Islamic whole Africa. That's the agenda. I've been noticed that.
No, I haven't noticed that at all. I don't think you. I think you're wrong. I think you've just been paranoid, and you buy into a lot of conspiracy that you read online. This is the reason why you got to be careful, Ibo. What you followed, all this Biafran news and stuff like that. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I came on the internet. Before, I wasn't interested at all on these online things. But looking at your part of the world in Nigeria, Shelley's group of people and the false information that they've been putting out there against certain people in the northern Nigeria, which my people are part of, and also my religion, which is Islam. The propaganda that they're spreading around the world, and it's actually ridiculous.
But
Give me an example of what you said. Give me one good example.
One man just showed a video of what I'm saying. If you come here and grab land, one man showed a video of yesterday. Actually, one man showed a video of what they do in Nigeria of land grabbing.
Land grabbing in Nigeria?
Yes, one man showed the video.
No, there's no such thing as land grabbing in Nigeria. Nigeria got security problem, yeah. And in fact, if you look at the statistic of people that are dying in Nigeria per population, and the people that have been dying in America per population, you actually realize the amount of security personnel Nigeria got in the ground. They're not doing bad actually.
You see, you don't get it.
You're gonna have crime, you're gonna have banditry, yeah, you're gonna have issues like that all over the world. However, the counter narrative that you're trying to say the Hausa and the Fulani, because I hear this, the Fulani and the Hausa want to take the central belt from you guys, yeah, and want to go further down. It's a false narrative.
No,
it's not.
No, one man showed the video. I'm not lying. Ask one man. He showed the video yesterday.
It doesn't matter if one man showed the video. I'll tell one man it's not true. He's there. I'll tell him I'll disagree because that's not true. The Hausa and the Fullers are not interested in grabbing land from anybody. They've got enough land for themselves. How many states that they have in the north that's fertile? Why would they go to grab land? Maybe there is a problem with Hausa and the Fulani and the Kanuri herders when they go to certain territory for the south, yeah, with their cattle. And maybe there is reprisal going on within the communities, but when something happens, they don't talk about the original situation in the ground, but they always report when the reprisal happened. But the media and the media outlets are not owned by the northerners, they're owned by the southerners. So you control the narrative of what's going on outside in the outside world.
Yeah. You see,
okay, and you're not helping that narrative neither.
I know, but here's the fact: you don't gain it.
I'm glad you agree with that. Thank you. Yeah, go on.
You don't get it because all these minority tribes in those areas are complaining. So you don't get it. You don't understand their pain, their feeling. You don't get it.
Listen. I'm concerned of any single African tribe pain. Every single chief, the Akpabio, Igbos, Yoruba, every single tribe in Africa is my people. I love them just like I love my Fulani brothers. I would never pick side when it comes to tribe. I would never do that. I never have. I never will. Yeah, I love you guys just like I love a Fulani guy. Yeah, I would never, discriminate on tribe. That's why I'm angry most of the time when I hear people talk certain way, because I feel like it's low IQ. It's actually lower self-esteem when people carry themselves like that. It's wrong and it's not going to move forward at all. So we should stop this tribal, division thing. There's some people, there's a group in our Fulani and Hausa that are not doing the right things in Nigeria. Yeah, and also in the Kanuri side, there's a group over there that's not doing the right thing. But it doesn't mean the entire Fulani or the entire Hausa or the entire Kanuri are bad people. Do you understand? There's majority of these people are good people. You know, they try to do their best for their families. You know, they do the best for themselves, even though they're struggling with land deprivation in the north, but they're still making the best out of it. You know, so and don't forget these cattle herders. They had a route that been traveling, you know, rearing cattle, you know, for centuries, and this route has been taken away from them, and there's no other provision. Buhari, that's the previous president from my tribe, he spent loads of money in your region in the southeast, right, developing the roads, infrastructure. I've seen it, yeah, but he didn't invest money in helping. He did not invest money in helping the Hausa and the Fulani and the Kanuri cattle herders, so they could actually do, you know, something different to what they're doing now to stop this thing keep happening. So, you know, so you can say, and people were accusing Buhari of being tribal, just like my president in Sierra Leone now. People are accusing him of being tribal or this and that, but he's not tribal at all. He's doing his best, and also we have people who are actually added tribal bigots. They're always trying to use that as an excuse to be destructive.
Okay, so let's allow Ahmed to speak. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Come in, brother.
Yeah, and you know, I just, you know, I just want to make sure everyone got the chance before I added my thoughts in. It's not going to be too long, but I just came in because I saw the title of the show, and I wanted to add one more thing, right? You know, what I want to talk about for a quick couple of minutes, and you guys can continue on, is the fact that I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there has been this increase of Black Americans who are claiming to be Native Americans, claiming to be Olmecs. They're saying they're not African at all. And a lot of them have even sort of attack Africans. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole, you know, Tariq Nasheed, FBA, ADOS type of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that. You heard about it?
Yes. I've heard about it. As a matter of fact, you know, like my ex, you know, she used to dwell in those fields, and that's the main reason why we're not together anymore. Because she used to believe that, I'm Native American, I'm this and that, blah blah blah. But she could never prove it, because I even make her take a DNA test, and then come to find out, like, she's like 80% like sub-Saharan African, but she still believe in it. So I was like, listen, I'm wasting my time. But yeah, man, it's very dangerous. But not only they are telling themselves that they are Native American, they are pushing that to other Blacks that live in the Americas. Yeah, and that's why I tell Haitian people, listen, I said, listen, you already know, for the most part, most of you guys know the tribe in Africa you came from. Do not listen to these people. You know, just identify the tribe in Africa you came from. And that's what I've done.
Yeah, and brother, thank you. I appreciate that. But I just wanted to add this, and I'll let you continue. But the reason why, bro, because I felt I wanted to kind of give an explanation to Black Africans, in regards to why Black Americans have been doing this. Okay, and what I wanted to say is this. There are, in my opinion, 4 reasons why. The number one reason is the fact that many Black Americans, they view Africa as being at the bottom of the hierarchy. And so they don't want to be associated with a continent or with a people that they view at the bottom. It's kind of weird because they complain that, you know, white Americans do that to them, but now they're doing it to Black Africans, right? First thing. Yeah. Now, number 2. For many Black Americans, right, they have, and we don't be honest, right, a lot of them have resentment about the fact that they were sold into slavery. Yes, many will.
This is my biggest concern, Hammer. This is my biggest concern about some of their presence in the ancestral land, because, you know, it makes you wonder, are these people back here for vengeance, or are these people genuinely, you know, coming here, you know, to trace themselves back?
Hey,
when I look at Ramwa, let me
interject real quick. Listen, should I really be a concern? How do they know that they were not part of the slave trade? How do they know that their ancestors were not slave traders?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, like Bijou Noir, right?
How did you not know that?
Yeah, like
How
Beijing
they know
they
that their
realize.
ancestors were a victim of the slave trade? Listen, guys. Let me tell you guys something, man. You know, in the oil empire, right? Listen. Hold on a second. In the oil empire, the Yoruba people, they were subjugating like the Dahomey people, the Fon. So the Fon people retaliated, and then they start selling a lot of Yoruba people in slavery because of that.
Yeah.
And then most of these Yoruba people, they went to Haiti, they went to Brazil, and they went to the United States.
Yes.
So if some of them find out that their ancestors were Yoruba, and we know that some Yoruba people, because Yoruba people, they have clan. You have the Oyo, you have the Oyo, you have the
Yeah. Yeah.
Awori, you have the
Yeah.
Ketu,
That's why the
you
Fullers.
have the Daka,
That's why the
you have a
Fuller.
bunch of different Yoruba clan. So
Yeah.
how
That's
would
why
they
it
know
does.
that? So if they found out that their ancestors were Yoruba, and then these Yoruba people were slave traders, what would they do to themselves?
Well, Ramo, you just gave a good example of Beijing Noir. When she found out she was a Fulani, she was crying because she realized she was a slave that belonged to ancestors of slave traders also, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's one of those things, at the end of the day, yeah. I growing up in the UK, I hope IC3 is listening to this, IC3. Growing up in the UK, I get more hatred from Jamaicans for being African than the white man. And
Yes.
the only thing I hear from the Jamaican, you African, you sold us, blah blah blah, and they go and suck up to the white man, and they start singing a Rastafarism. I'm looking at them thinking, right? You know what I mean, though, right? So you hating on your African brother because they sold you to slave, but you actually go and sucking up to the man that actually slaved you at the first place. You're not making any sense. You're not placing any value on yourself.
Yeah. But brother, like I was to finish my point, I'm happy y'all chimed in, but that's the second
Yes.
thing, the resentment,
Yes.
right? But the other two things is this, right? Is that one, the third one is Black Americans, although they're at the bottom of the hierarchy within the United States, which is not the fault because of the whites here, because they live in America, they tend to have a higher standard of living than the average Black African. And so because of this, they look down on Black Africans the same way whites will look down on them here in America. This is where the condescending nature comes from, right? The whole tether thing. Okay. So, and the fourth part is that, whenever Black Americans make grievance claims, white people turn to West Africa. So, what I want to tell Black Africans and the Black diaspora is this, okay? What you're going to sort of see is the next couple of years, a growing number of Black Americans not wanting to be African, attacking the diaspora, and you just prepare yourself for it. It's going to come. It's happening already. This too will pass. I think what I feel will happen is that a lot of Africans, and it's happening, a lot of Black Africans are going to be hurt by this because it's going to be personal. And later on, when Africa has its when these Black Americans try to all of a sudden wear their dashikis again, we're gonna be like, oh, no. You were saying you were Native American, right? Stay over there. So I don't want this FBA thing to become another point of resentment for diaspora. But I feel that with all this relentless attack on Black Africans, eventually many of them will just say, fine, okay, fine, we're gonna do our own thing. And then later on down the line, when 2-3 generations later, when Black Americans see that many of these don't deal with it, like, where is it coming from? Why are these Africans not dealing? That's what I hate about the disingenuousness, right? But they won't acknowledge where it comes from. But I'll leave it at that. Y'all can go ahead. Thank you.
No, you made a great point, brother. I absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I love Black people, globally, all over the world, anywhere Black people are, and they found themselves, whether you're a child of a slave descendant or a child of the slave, trader. The reality is we're just one people. One thing we have in common, we face the same struggle anywhere we go. If that is not enough to unify us as one people, because we almost are one people, what else can actually unify us? And it's a shame that Tariq Nasheed, I used to love some of his stuff that he brought in the beginning, but as time goes on, it's creating this ADOS, FBA, this hate group against African, because that's what it is really. He's creating a hate group against Black Africans, that are going to America. But they finish, he don't have the audacity to create a hate group against the Mexicans that influx in the country at the moment and polluting all the Black neighborhoods in America. That's going to make Black American become more minority in their own country. He don't focus on that, but he focuses on self-destruction like Tyrone. Tyrone would not go to Mexican platform or to Red Indian platform and do what he's doing, but he will come to African platform like this and he's trying to be destructive, because you know why? He have that sense of, like he's better than us because he's Black American. You're not. We
You're
came
out.
from great people.
You're
Yes.
out. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, brother. They are even mixing with these people. But I don't know. I don't know if you follow like this cult called the Hebrew Israelite. So within that
Oh
cult,
yeah, that's true.
within that cult, they would say that like Black American belongs to Judah. It's impossible, because Black American are descendant of various African tribes, and of course, like you got different admixture in that. And then in that same token, they would say that Haitian came from the tribe of Levi. Impossible again, because Haitians are a mixture of different African tribes, and then some of them can trace their paternal tribe in Africa. And then they would say that the West Indians are from the tribe of Benjamin. If you look at the West Indian, Haiti included in the West Indian. So if you're saying that Haitian came from that tribe, but Haiti is in the West Indies, why would you then say all the West Indian came from a different tribe? Does that make any sense? And then to make things even worse, they would say that like the Hispanic people came from that tribe of Israel. They came from that tribe of Israel. It's even worse. Like their tribal chart, it's more Hispanic people than Black.
Yes.
It's more Hispanic people than Black.
Drama, the funny thing is, like, I was on Dynasty program when some African-American brothers, the Hebrew Israelite brothers, I don't know if he was watching that, when, they had Brandon there, because for the first time, Brandon managed to get them, on one platform, on Dynasties, because, Brandon do talk a lot about them. Yeah. And obviously, so I came on because I do a lot of research on this thing. Because the reason why I joined Pan-African platform is not because of politics, because I'm not interested in politics. That's one of the worst things in my life. I would never be interested. I'm more interested in history, different cultures, and stuff like that. And also teach other African American, give them some history that they can be proud of, where they came from. So basically, I was telling these guys, because they was like talking about the Hebrew Israelite, how I was telling him, right, he's an Igbo guy. He don't understand the Kanem Borno Empire days, right? There's so many gene pool that went down to the Igbo stream that actually enabled them to have some of this Semitic blood that some of our Hausa, Fulani, and the Mande group still carry, because we had connection, over the years in the Sahel with Semites, because they came over to our land and we intermixed with these people. We've been conquered, and we've conquered. It's like backward and forward. We build empires and live around different people before these areas or these countries were formed. But people don't understand this, but then if they got like a 1% Semitic DNA in there, oh yeah, we're Hebrew Israelites.
Because they don't want to be African, bro. Just say that. They view Black Africans as dusty folks were saying those, and they want to be African. Just like, I wish Black Americans would just be honest. We could just be happy. You don't want to be African, that's fine. Don't all this other thing about you being Hebrew Israelite, that's all a code. Just say Black Africans are poor. I don't want to be associated with you, and that's fine. We can move on.
Yeah. Simple. Yeah. Well done. Well said. UFC super fan, my brother, or is that a Nigerian prince?
Good. The thing is that some of us we get it because it's normal. No one likes to fuck with poor people, so it's normal. It's like most of us don't get it. That's why sometimes we call it racism. No, it's not. If we put our shit together, yes, we'll be at the table also. because they just see us as that we complain too much. Also, I want to ask this question. You see, sometimes when we say Africans are poor, yes, some of our people are poor, but there are still some of our people who are doing well. Okay, for instance, I I'm not that rich, but I'm doing okay. Am I still categorized as poor in the so-called American standard? I don't know, because I have my own I have a small business. I have my own house, and I own a personal car. Does that mean I'm poor because I'm not millionaire in dollars? I don't get, how do we measure this standard? I don't know. Can anyone?
Nigerian first. What they are really saying is that it's not about the individual black African, is that when they compare the United States, Europe, and Africa, Africa is very underdeveloped, to be honest with that. And so for a lot of them, they would rather claim 1-2% European, 3% Native American than to be associated with black Africans who they view as being broke and got nothing going on.
Yeah.
But trust and believe, the moment Africa starts blowing up, all of a sudden they'll start wearing African dress. All of a sudden they'll be African again. And then when
But
Africans look at them the other way, they'll cry about it. Watch.
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah, exactly,
I think,
Hammer.
That's a fact.
that's a
And
fact.
then they'll start crying, oh, Africans don't like us. No, it's because you say they won't be African. That's what you
I
say.
mean,
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
look at Liberia. A good example. Liberia, we gave them land. In Sierra Leone, the Shabro gave them land where Freetown is today, because that was part of the Shabro Island, right?
Yeah.
They gave them land. So we don't get any thank you for that. In fact, in Liberia, what happened is the Americans, the American Liberian, turned around and started, not being really kind towards the native, and then this problem started to boil in the surface over the years. So the natives start resenting the American
How?
Liberian. The American Liberian
And then you had the Liberian Civil War.
yeah,
How?
Yeah.
and then
How?
yes, go
Let's
on.
be honest. These
Yeah,
people are just black in the surface.
yes,
Inside their mind, they are white, really.
yeah,
They're
some of
white
them are,
supremacy.
have black skin,
some of
but
them are,
inside they're white.
some of them
With
are, I
the
think,
think and their mentality. So
yeah, you're right. I mean, I grew up with them in the UK. I seen the cultures. I can see the different. I can see the morals. Morally, we are not the same people. That's 100% fact. We
Yeah.
were brought up. Especially us. In the dead West. And that's why Liberians really struggle, because we used to have. I lived in Liberia. It's not far from us. We're brothers. Liberian and Sierra Leone are almost the same, and Guinea. These are like one place. It's one vast land that got split up. But the reality is, the cultural difference was noticeable. When it come from like Monrovia to outside of Monrovia. If you go to Freetown, if you leave Freetown, the cultural differences from the average Creole lifestyle in the cities to the outside is different also. So, but the good thing, I think Sierra Leone, however, I must give the diaspora that came to settle in Sierra Leone credit. They did manage to, settle very and integrate very well compared to those in Liberia. I don't know why, but for some reason they managed to do it. And our war in Sierra Leone had nothing to do with tribes. It was just to do with
there's this topic that's been trading online in Nigeria for the past few days. Like, people are coming back, like Nigerians who live in the UK, they are coming back to receive treatment in Nigeria because the waiting time in the UK is just too much.
Oh my God, UFC, that's my expertise there, bro. I know. Listen, you see, the trouble is, right? This is, I remember when my dad was alive, when I complained to my dad about white supremacy and racism and stuff like that, my dad never want to hear it. He said white supremacy would die on its own. It will kill itself, right? Yeah? Leave it. The more they do it, let them do it. Eventually, you can see the reaction, right? So the UK, for example, years ago, I used to work for a water company, right? the company they manufacture this device that they put in the manhole. I don't know if you know what manhole is, underneath the ground where the water system is, where all the sewages goes, right? So we go underneath there and put this system that will check whether it's going to flood or the depth and the speed of the water, so it can report it to the headquarters. Yeah, so we had contract all over the UK with all the councils. Yeah, we go and deploy these things, and hardly any flooding, right? So only years later, we had the Conservative government got voted in. This is the government that's in power now. What did they do? They slashed the contract. Yeah, and then I left that job, was jobless, and then I had the next job. The job was private ambulance. Yeah, because the government decided to sell the private outpatient ambulances to private sector. So one of these private company that bought the ambulance, happened to be my next employer. And I was told by the manager, if someone is rude to you, hang up. And months before the private ambulance became active through the NHS, they used to get ambulance regularly, this outpatient. But with this new system in the computer, they have to pass what they call eligibility test. That means it's a yes or no by the end of it. Yeah. And then the computer say no. I remember this old lady, this English lady, yeah, in the Forest of Dean. That's one of the racist areas in England. She rang. She said, "What happened? I've been waiting for my ambulance for 2 weeks and I got dialysis appointment in the hospital. Do you want me to die?" And then I started explaining to her, and then I started asking her all these questions. It's like, what is this question? Why are you asking me all these questions? And I thought, oh, this is going to be a problem. And then the computer went red. And I said, sorry, love, you can't have an ambulance because you're no longer eligible for it. She's like, hang on a minute, this is my country. I was born here. You sound like a foreigner, blah, blah, blah. She was started going racist and stuff. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. I wanted to hang up on her, but then I thought, you know what? At the same time, my dad was having dialysis in America. And I thought, I cannot go to sleep if I leave this lady stranded, even though she's been racist towards me, right? So I went and spoke to my manager, and I explained to my manager, and then he wasn't really concerned. He's an English guy, and I thought, but then luckily there was, eventually he agreed for me to go and open one of the books, because we have a special volunteers in certain areas where we can call these people, and offer them vouchers and, bank transfer so they can do the thing. So basically I managed to get a volunteer in the area that collect her and take her to the hospital. However, while I was on the phone, waiting to get all this sorted out, I was asking her on the phone. I said, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to speak to my MP. I need your name." She want to report me to our MP called Mark Harper, right? And then while I was on the phone to her, I went on the other side of the computer, type in Mark Harper, and guess what? Mark Harper, that she voted for a few months ago, happened to be one of the guys that actually introduced this new system. You understand? Yeah. This how they fuck themselves over, right? So my dad gave me a good example also, where he used to live in the north in Ohio. He said most of the factories here we used to belong. Black people used to work in these factories. Yeah. He said when I came here, it was all black people used to work, and they earned good money. And then the Jim Crow Democrat moved a lot of this job to China. They outsourced the jobs. And today the Chinese have most of the knowledge and the expertise of this industry.
Let me tell you why the Black America sabotage themselves. Let's say black in general. We I don't see. We like words. We enjoy words when people praise us. So when you say anything a little bit negative, we get mad. If you look at it really, yes, Republican in America might be a little bit racist or brash and all those things, but at least they meet business. They can even allow you to do your business without using tax and all those things to bother you. But you see, black people they don't look about the economic side, what they are going to benefit. It's just this how you hurt their emotion, you hurt their feelings. Feelings doesn't give you anything. It's just feelings. It's nothing. You see me? I mean, you get me. So, to me, in this coming election, I think blacks in America should vote for Trump. Forget about Trump is all the things he's saying, but I think
If you're gonna put food on the table, just bite the nail and get on with it. You know,
yeah,
I mean,
vote for anybody that is pro business.
yeah. And this is what we have seen. This is one. There's two things men you have in common that I like about you, brother. You have the mentality of personal responsibility. You know, me and you, we don't like people that blame government and always complaining about government. I don't like people like that because I think they're lazy. People are always depending on government. They're lazy people. It's the same thing that in my country, in Sierra Leone, it's the same thing. They're a bunch of docile on the internet. Yeah. All they do is talk about politics and the government this, the government that. It's like, man, how many taxes are you actually paying in Sierra Leone for you to actually even have a mouth?
Let me tell you
to even mention about government. Yeah, and all they do is trying to divide and play games. And I used to go on their platform. I don't go on it anymore because I feel so depressed. And I mean, if you listen to them, you feel like the country is coming to an end tomorrow. You know, and some of these platforms, you know, I used to recommend people, oh yeah, go on them, you know, they're great. But as time goes on, you can see how they're actually pushing their narrative and their agendas in there. And they're trying to divide the people. And some of these people are the younger generations that's supposed to be, you know, the future of the country. You know, and they just gone into this this cuckoo cloud mood, bro. It's like it's so depressing. And we got in Sierra Leone right now, we got an epidemic of what they call kush. Yeah, they don't ever talk about that on their platform, but they're busy talking about the president or what this, that, what this, not. It's like, come on, man, you got a bigger urgency. Yeah, your population is dying of smoking kush, and you're busy talking about other politics, man. These people are shameless. Seriously, yeah, go on, UFC.
Let's be honest. If we want to solve Africa's problem, really, based on my observation, we need to first solve this problem of not trading with each other internally.
Yeah.
If we can trade with each other internally, we'll be okay because see, I don't know what you export yearly to your country, like how much, you guys consume rice, right?
Yes.
Like how many millions of dollars or billions of dollars do you guys spend in importation of rice yearly?
You have seen our land is so fertile, it's unbelievable. Farmers can grow rice. But if you tell them about that now, they'll be like, oh, the government.
Yeah,
grow
that's
your
what
own
that's
rice.
what
Before government start having ship dock in there, before they build ports in Africa. Remember what Buhari did in Nigeria, UFC? Remember when he said if they're gonna starve them? Yes. He said if they're gonna starve, let them starve, but they're not importing. He block all the borders, right? He said not importing rice. That's what they should do in Sierra Leone. I think the government should block the ports and say, look, you grow your own food, your own rice, or you're gonna fucking die. Simple as that.
Apart from that one, I think an agreement between countries should be if Sierra Leone is good in rice production, I think Sierra Leone need to sign agreement with Nigeria. Okay, they'll be supplying Nigeria rice and we'll pay them back the money. You see, those are the kind of agreement each country need to sign.
Yes.
Nigeria consume rice worth of $5 billion yearly. You understand me? That's a huge amount of money.
That's a lot of money, man.
But let me ask you this, UFC, doesn't Nigeria produce its own rice, or why would they make trade with Sierra Leone if they produce the same product?
We produce, but it's not enough. We still import.
Yeah, it did went back a little bit because I remember during Buhari there was I think nearly zero rights.
No, let me tell you the truth. Go and check the record. The importation of rice to Benin Republic increased almost 300% or 400% because people were smuggling the rice through Benin Republic to Nigeria. Yes. So it was still going on.
Okay, so they was just pushing it through the side coming in, and that's sad. I mean, we got fertile land and we're still begging for food from Russia and Ukraine and stuff like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and that's the main problem with our people in Africa. I mean, like most of our land is very fertile. Like don't beg for food, but at least ask that if they can come in so that you guys can open like factory, like have your own industry and stuff like that instead of begging for food, because we don't need food. Like we are in the age of technology, so we need the same technology that they have. That at least that's what I would beg for, but not for food. I mean, we can literally provide food for the world. So why are we begging instead of not asking for technology? Because that's what we need. We need the technology.
Is it not 60% of the world arable land is in Africa? Something like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we're still begging for food.
See. Let me see.
Yeah.
When Zimbabwe, the whites were doing the farming, were using the land for farming, there were no issue of hunger or insufficient. Immediately, they took those lands back from the white and hand over it to black people. They mess everything up. See, if South Africa also do the same, South Africa will be worse than Nigeria. They will go like, see, I don't. We are too incompetent. The way we do things, we are too incompetent. We don't run things properly. When you allow us to undo anything, it becomes disaster. See, let me say this: if white South Africa were still running South Africa since 1994 till now, South Africa economy would have been in at least 1.5 trillion dollar. I'm telling you, the GDP of South Africa would have been upward 1.5 or more, because they hand over it to the black. Look at it. Look at Nigeria. Our economy is run down. Hmm? People, all they focus on is just taking, stealing, and take care of their self and their family. That's all. And uh, then they drive all the time on the street and see their people wallow in poverty. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and also that's the main problem in every majority black country is corruption. And that has to stop. In my humble personal opinion, I do think that sometimes we need to get rid of our emotion when we are dealing with white people. I mean, we need to learn from them, what they do, and then we put our own little twist to it. I mean, look at country in Southeast Asia. Look at Singapore. Look at Korea. Look at China. I remember back in the days, my family used to tell me like China, little Haiti used to donate money to South Korea. Now look at South Korea. South Korea is just everything is just technology. But look at us now. Look at us, Africa. Now we're begging
Asia,
them.
one thing they always train their population, their citizens, is about emotional control. Those people can control their emotions. They don't flinch. They see, you will see these people, they are very small. Some of them are 4 feet, some of them are 5 feet tall. You hardly see taller people, huge men. These are short people, but look at what they are doing. But when you come to Africa, you have giants, people who are 7 feet, 8 feet tall, 7.5 feet tall. But what are they doing? Nothing.
Not right.
They are doing nothing.
Nothing.
See,
Absolutely, brother.
see. I always tell people, if we want to solve Africa problem, the citizens themselves are the ones to build Africa, not the government.
Yeah.
We need to build. When we build, people will come. The diaspora, the European will come to enjoy their money in Africa if we build it.
Yeah.
If you observe, there are a lot of people. Why
People don't support,
a lot of people going to
and also
Morocco.
they don't
Can you
support
hear
the
me?
government. It's true. They
A
don't
lot
support
of
the
people,
government.
a lot go to what they call this place in Morocco, Marrakesh.
Yes.
All you see there is foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
go there to enjoy. Marrakesh is
Yeah.
very, very beautiful.
That's a black Morocco there. Everything about Marrakesh was black, and in a way, it still is black. And
Yeah,
this
but what I'm
it's
saying
funny.
is that
Yeah.
the North Africa are able to get it right. It is where
Yes.
the black, it just the I don't know what's going on with black people.
Yeah. It's true. It's funny enough you said that, UFC. You're right. Enough African countries quietly managed to get it right, and in West Africa, we can give our ancestors credit for defending the region, and keep it totally, black and totally for us. We have to give them credit for that. But and once again, the FC, but they are still lagging in terms of development. And however, we did have a great pass in the West African also. We got to give our ancestors credit as well. We did have great pass.
See, I'm not gonna lie. The reason what derailed Nigeria development was that the past leadership didn't believe in infrastructure. See, you cannot build the economy without solid infrastructure. It was Buhari that came in and started building what we need. Did you know that we didn't have the cargo rail? In developed country, they have cargo rail that can carry crude oil, gas, container, a lot of other things. We didn't have that at all.
UFC, but look how Nigerians slam Buhari all this throughout his regime. You know what? Do you know what? My president in Sierra Leone, I call him Buhari's younger brother. You know why? Because he have similar problems. The guy finished. He was a military man. He helped bringing that country from one party state. Yeah, he took the power from the people that came, under the colonial. And he handed it to the people that live in the regions, our people. Yeah. My late dad, my family were part of one of the founders of the party that's currently ruling Sierra Leone. Is the reason why they formed this party is to get power from the people that kept the power for so long and kept the local native people out of the political arena. And this guy, he brought the country from a brink of war to democracy. And he rescued the country and he handed over back to a democratic government. And then he came to England. He came back and he stand on a platform that he basically put his life for, and he stand as a candidate and he was elected under the SLPP government, right? So when he got elected, he done his first term, right? Sierra Leone. We're bordered to Guinea and Liberia, right? If you were to travel to Liberia from Sierra Leone, in the region between Sierra Leone, there is all paved roads. The roads are crystal nice, lovely. If you go into Liberia, good luck. The roads are bad. It's the same thing with Guinea. If you go to Guinea, if you're traveling from Freetown to Guinea, all the way to the Guinea border inside Sierra Leone, the roads are beautiful. But once you cross into Guinea, the roads are bad. But people never give
can I interject real quick, brother?
Let me just finish.
Okay, go ahead.
People never give the president that's in power now credit for at least what he's doing, and he also give everybody free education because that's one of our people legacy in the country. My parent died. They suffer. They use their last penny to educate, make sure everybody's educated, regardless of the religion, tribe, or region. It was their legacy. So all these things, he don't get any credit. All people do is power hungry and bashing and no objective.
Okay,
just like what they done to Buhari, same thing.
The guy built a lot of infrastructure, right?
What was that?
Yes, he invests a lot in infrastructure in Sierra Leone. Yes, he invests. If you look at our airport now, our airport is one of the best airports in West Africa.
See,
the roads.
Yes, I understand. What people don't understand is that infrastructures facilitate services. It makes business faster. You can, I think, logistics too. You can make